Good evening. Hi, guys. Hello. Why do I keep these on when I don't need to? I don't know. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night. If you guys are new, obviously, I am potentially criminal, also known as Sean. I just want to say hello to everybody. If you guys are new, this is the Thursday night stream. We do this every Thursday at 9:30, and look, it's still 9:30. That means I'm still on time. So how about that? How about that? Anyways, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. It should be a very fun night. Um, Also, I don't know why I didn't have this set up here. I messed up. Um, and forgot to include a couple of our places that we're on at tonight. So we are live over on Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, just to name a few places. And along here with YouTube, we are also over at Locals. And if you guys don't know what Locals is just like Patreon, except they don't have the ridiculous rules that Patreon has. They don't act heavy-handed. They just let you do your thing. And it's a very fun place. We have a little community over there. It's at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. And you guys can join for free. Costs you nothing to be a member. If you'd like to support, it does cost $3 a month. You pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. The big perk with the support is you get access to the live shows. We do 2 live shows at minimum a week there. We do one every Monday night at 8:30. It's always a very, very fun time. We usually go for about like 2 to 3 hours, usually, sometimes longer. And then every Thursday night. So after this, tonight here, when we're done here, we'll be going over there and having some fun and hanging out. So it's a place where we can talk about all the stuff that doesn't really fit in here or work here. And then we could just kind of enjoy ourselves and relax. It's a really fun time. So that's over at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. If you're interested, you can also use the promo code CRIMINAL2024. You get 1 month of full access for free. After that 1 month is over, there is no obligation. But if you do like it, certainly we'd appreciate the support. If not, certainly understand that as well. So the other thing that we have going on every Thursday night over there is the live chat. And it's already pretty... It's pretty vibrant already. You could say it that way. We'll put it like that. It's vibrant. So we'll just leave it there. But that's over on Locals. So that aside, we do generally try to wait a couple minutes. I know people are trying to get in local or YouTube, even Locals and Rumble and everywhere. They don't do the best job at telling you what's going on. So I try to give people a little bit of time to figure out what's going on out there that they can then come in here, because obviously it's a little more fun if that does happen that way. What did we mess up here? Okay, that's what we messed up. That's what I messed up. That's what was wrong. That's why Kick isn't working. Kick isn't working because it sucks. Trying to set its stream key up. There we go. Kick should be fine now. If you guys are anybody wanted Kick, I don't think anybody really does, but I always put it up because you never know. We get people start compulsively gambling over there. So we'll take a look at that. We got a lot of fun things to talk about tonight, guys. A lot of fun things. Well, what is this? A lot of fun things and kind of memeing our way to the Supreme Court. Very, very interesting, to say the least. I think that's kind of how you have to look at it. So if you guys were not aware, Kiwi Farms is going to the Supreme Court. But I don't want to spoil too much more from there. Walter Malone says first in the sector. Yes, well, that's a first, but the true first goes to Nico. He got first. Always timeless, the always appropriate first. The old reliable. And then over in Rumble, we got Jacob Castro. Got first. Oh, you guys came over from Steve Gosney. Well, thanks for being there. And then I see everybody over in well, there's one person on Twitch. And 11 people watch it on Twitter. 10 people watch on Twitter. Well, thank you guys for being there. Let's see what else. Did I see Monty's rant? Yeah, I don't disagree. Like we weren't in disagreement, so I don't know why he was upset with me. I mean, he he learned me, but I was already kind of on his side with a little bit of it. So, I, it's like okay, like I guess. So I mean I don't know. It's he said my name a lot, and who doesn't like hearing their name said all the time. Uh, so I mean that was the other good part about it. Uh, I mean I don't know what more else is there to say. Um, Also, guys, if I have a request for you or a question for you, trying to work on doing merch, and Teespring is giving me all kinds of bullshit. Um, you guys have suggestions on where to go for that? Let me know because I'm looking to probably move, and I'm looking around myself. But if you guys have ideas of your own, certainly don't be afraid to reach out to me because I'm trying to figure out what to do in the meantime. Because no, among other things, Muted and some of the other stuff I want to put together, Teespring takes it all down because they're worried somebody has a copyright or trademark, and I'm like, they don't. But then they don't let you put it back up. But hey, that's how that goes. So just if you don't mind, keep your guys' eyes peeled for something good out there. Sleazy says in before Muted. Well, I'm sorry you weren't because I'm not muted. Let's see what else is here. You guys doing? Unhung Hero for $2 says I'm gonna come. Don't come. Don't come. Where you guys are. Clinical decision. Yikes. Answer the question, Sean. I think you're hilarious. Well, thank you. Let's see here. Let's see. Where you guys all trying to catch up? Parallax been a member for 16 months. Thank you, Parallax. I appreciate that. It's so crazy to see numbers like that. Ralph made Nick. Nick made you. Comma is Ralph's grandpa. I mean, when you put it like that, no. I don't think I want that. I don't need that right now, but thank you. Thank you, Parallax. I really needed to think about it like that tonight. Jeez. Now I'm going to have to think about that as I go to sleep. It's going to make some awful dreams. It just made me really seriously. Kitchen Knife Rescue's been a member for 2 months. Says, fun fact, Jeffrey Dahmer had Ben and Jerry in his freezer. Yes, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. President-elect Phil Swift for $10. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Is saying, Ralph slop hogging for Nick last night was odd. Nick showed himself as a real self-made trad dad, and in reality, he was a drunk that never had to financially support himself. Lies and liquor will be his downfall. Well, I mean, they may be, what that all may be, but like I said, at the end of the day, I still hope Nick, gets everything figured out and gets to move on to a positive, on a positive, I mean, who doesn't want to see anybody do well or succeed? I mean, that's, there are people there, it's not the idea life's too short to get mad at people. I mean, certainly there's times to have a grudge, and there's times that, you want to see somebody get hit by a bus. Probably, there's going to be times where you have people in that situation, but this isn't one of them. I hope things go well. I hope, I hope he's back back to where he was, like Kyle Rittenhouse days. I mean, or Johnny Depp days. I who doesn't want to see that for anybody? So, uh, Crystal Heart says, "I'm sorry I can't come to your local orgy. Thank you." Well, that's all right. That's just more for us, I guess. Yes, thank you, Gosney. I appreciate it. Here, the Wizard of Goz. Yes, thanks, Steve. Steve Gosney, guys, always a very nice guy, very informative, really just great to listen to. Super, super, very intellectual man. So if you guys ever get the chance to see him out there, uh, take a look at him over on YouTube. I know he's on Rumble a lot too. You will generally, I mean, actually, not even generally. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you're listening to him. I'll say it like that. Uh, I'm sorry. Wow, you guys are like all the way down here already. You guys want to know where Clyde is? At Clyde somewhere. I'll take a look for him. Jack Johnson says you are now a trad lawyer father figure. I mean, that's funny, but no, I kind of get the joke, but in reality, yeah, don't you never want to meet your heroes. I mean, that saying is out there for a reason. Number one, and just number two. I mean, I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude. I am not. Uh, I can't being some sort of role model and all that. I mean, it sounds great and interesting, but I'm just a dude being a dude. That's really all I am. That's all I am at the end of the day. So that is let's see here. Wow, you guys are like just flying along here. How about just not putting things up your butt? Well, I don't, so I don't have to worry about it. Expert says cool P80. Thank you. Yeah, it's hanging up back there. Gotta get the linkage all sorted out though, because it's still binding up. Will not shoot. Um, what happened to the White Claws? They're still around. We don't have to, just don't have to drink all the time. And I mean, that's just, I mean, really, I got enough going on that I have to go take care of things during the day and the next day. So not always timely for it. And also, I will say, um, you know, doing those kind of the homemade ones are actually almost better. They tasted better. Didn't have the maltiness in there that had the White Claws did. Didn't really, it's nicer. It's nicer. Um, so I did want to say, so Jim said I need to look up something here in locals that he put up. Okay. Ah. Okay, this is funny. Well, we'll read this. This is kind of funny. This is a funny way to start off the stream, I guess. Uh yeah, I'll accept this. I'm not the father figure. I'm the non-Jewish Ken Rosenberg for Vice City. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. That works for me. So now, with that said, this is actually kind of funny. This is a funny way to get things. Wait, where did it go? Oh, there it is. I didn't lose it. I did not lose it. Thank God. Okay, so this is kind of funny. So this is these things, when you see these things, you're like, they can't be real. Nobody really does this or thinks like that. There's no way. I can't ever imagine that. Um, so she says, I'm dealing with a bipolar man and it makes me sick. First, he dated me for 2 months and he opened me He opened his home to me and my 3 kids. We moved out of my mom's house into his townhouse. I registered my kids in a school district. He gave me a spare room to braid hair and earn money. We had fun and loving vibe. I know he loves me and adores my kids, but I made one mistake. He threw us out. My side dude stopped by to get his braids done and to borrow some money. I also gave him a quick blow job. I didn't know where the camera was in the braiding room, or I wouldn't have slipped up like that. I apologize, but Mr. Bipolar switched up on me and threw me and the kids and our things out in the front yard. I took what I could fit into the Uber. I can't believe it happened. I can't believe how he snapped and turned on us. What relationship red flags did I miss? I'm so scared to be vulnerable with a man again. It's like, well, yeah, things just happen, I guess. Things just happen. So, you like to say it's not real, but it's got stuff like that at times probably is real. Who knows though? It's so hard to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know. So, uh, I can fix her. Yeah. Um. Yes. Every day we stray further from God. Was that Fani Willis? No. No. Fanny's got her own problems though coming up. So. By the way, tomorrow, chat. I know Hannah Reed is on tomorrow. Well, actually, we'll get started. So, spoiler alert. In the Hannah Reed trial, the Rust armorer, and if you guys remember Alec Baldwin's movie Rust that he was filming, well, he pulled out a revolver on set and was doing his old West Cowboy stuff and shot around right into the director of photography on the movie set and killed her. Now, he was charged of manslaughter, and also the armorer on the set, who's in charge of all the guns, was charged of manslaughter. The armor, Hannah Reed, is going to trial. She's been in trial now for 6 days, and I guess we'll start there. She's going to prison. There's no oopsie poopsies. There's no way around this. No. At this point now, listening to her talk, all through her interviews, all coupled with everything else that's been presented in court, yeah, this is all Hannah's fault. Up until Alec pulling the trigger, it's Hannah's fault. Why? She didn't do a damn thing she was supposed to do. Nothing at all. I mean, listening to the armor today, the armor expert, I mean, we don't have time to listen to him because the guy is like 2 hours straight of just very, very good information. Hannah did none of that. She didn't do anything. And she caused the situation to happen. So she's going to prison. I don't know for how long, probably at least a year. I think she probably should because she jumps into the job, wants the job so she could springboard herself into Hollywood. Didn't care she wasn't knowing how to do anything. And, somebody died because of it. There's just so. Yeah, the whole thing today, though. The assistant director took the stand and he started lying about things that didn't make sense. The other girl got the whole case is really, really weird now. I will say though, Alec Baldwin's probably toast too when it comes to his turn. I can say that much. He's probably toast as well. So for those of you who don't like Alec Baldwin, I guess he'll get what's coming to him there. He'll like it. Um, so you guys over in oh good. One of many. How are you guys doing there over in? How are you guys over doing the Rumble? Yeah. So the allegation that they were like target practicing and stuff like that, from what I've been able to tell, that actually didn't happen. So live ammunition got mixed in because it just got mixed in, and it sounds like nobody wants to admit where they screwed up. Although I think the party who knows who did it knows who's responsible. But yeah, Hannah Reed, we'll catch up on it tomorrow. But oh god, it's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. She's so toast. Her attorney isn't really doing a great job, but then again, she was already toast before the trial started. So yeah. Other update: Michelle Draconis, the woman in Connecticut who's accused of helping her boyfriend butcher his wife. and cut up the body and dispose of it. That is still in jury deliberations. They went home for the day today. They're going to start day 3. I can't believe it's taken them 3 days of deliberation to figure this out. I mean, holy cow. I think something's up. I'm not expecting a hung jury, but it'll be very impressive if they do that. So that's still going on. If that goes to a verdict tomorrow, we'll cut to that. But tomorrow, the big thing is Fani Willis, and we'll start off there. So, guys, remember, Fani basically hired her boyfriend, paid him a ton more money than she makes or anybody else makes, and then went gallivanting all over the country in parts of the Western Hemisphere with that money. Now, that's a kickback. You're benefiting from the money you're awarded and paying out. Now, Fanny's objected to that, said it's not a kickback, and she tried to deny it. And she's tried to point out that Nathan Wade was duly appointed as a prosecutor, although it appears he wasn't appointed special prosecutor according to state law, which means everything in the Trump indictments could get tossed. And then Fanny could be removed from the case for a conflict of interest. So they had the hearing about 2 weeks ago, and that was the big one where she came in and started, getting all indignant and took the stand and started fighting with everybody. Well, we had another one this week. And this week, Terrence Bradley, the attorney who worked for Nathan Wade and asserted privilege the entire time, was forced to divulge privilege. We watched it at live. We watched it as it happened. And then we covered the text messages between him and Trump's attorneys where he spilled all the goods on what was going on there. Tomorrow is the final day of things, and they are going to make arguments regarding the inclusion of Fani Willis's cell phone data and Nathan Wade's cell phone data, which shows them hanging out in the middle of the night. And there's nothing else to do at 3 a.m. in the neighborhood where Fani lives, except bump ugly. So I think they got him. Now we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is also the closing arguments. They're going to make their pitches to the judge, and we'll see what happens there. That starts at 2:00. So we are going to cover that. Like I said, Hannah Reid's a big deal, but this is of massive importance and I think needs to be addressed. So we will start there with that tomorrow, but I wanted to give you guys kind of the basic update on that. Now, moving on, the farms, Kiwi Farms, with the indomitable, the indefatigable Joshua Moon, null. They're going to go try to get certiorari. Holy cow. So if you guys weren't aware, Russell Greer has sued them under the theory of contributory copyright infringement. That the Farms is a party to what's gone on and allowed people to infringe upon Russell Greer, the guy looks like that, all of his works that he had copyrighted, including some songs and things of that nature. So Russell Greer sued the Farms, and initially the Farms won a motion to dismiss. Russell Greer appealed that. The 10th Circuit eventually overturned the dismissal and said, actually, he's got a point, and it went back down. And since that's happened back last year, at the end of the year last year, it's been an entire disaster. We spent a whole night going through the filings, probably about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. And Russell Greer is just getting his ass kicked because Null hired a real pipe hitter of an attorney. So that is where things are now. But Null has dropped has thrown down the gauntlet because now, well, we are playing under the lights. That is what's going on here. He's thrown down the gauntlet and challenged Greer to the Supreme Court of the United States. Okay, and this is a petition for a writ of certiorari. So this is the opportunity to be heard. You're seeking a petition. This is your petition seeking the writ. And the writ allows you to be in front of the court and argue your case. It's called getting cert. C-E-R-T is the short phrase of that. So if you can get cert, that's a big deal. Because remember, less than 1% of people who apply cert petitions get heard by the Supreme Court. It is a very exclusive, very picky docket. Now, how do you get on that? Well, you need 4 justices to decide your case is worthwhile. That's all you need is 4. So how does that work? Well, most of that comes through to their law clerks, and they have law clerks who are people who've graduated law school, very bright people. I probably clerked for a circuit court judge or two, and then they come and clerk for the justice. These are generally Ivy League or top 10 law school people who then go on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in big law firms because, well, now they've got that juice. They might have an in with that judge, or they know how that judge thinks. And they're also really smart and do their jobs well. But there's also the prestige of having Supreme Court clerks working for your firm. So, anyways, it's a petition for a writ of certiorari. And the counsel of record for the farms is Matthew Hardin. So, Joshua Moon and Kiwi Farms, I'm sure. Who knew we'd see that on a Supreme Court document? But hey, that's pretty cool. Versus Russell Greer. So, what is the issue here? And there's a couple questions, and these are the questions that are being presented. Whether receipt of a takedown notice alone is sufficient to impute actual knowledge of copyright infringement to its recipient under the contributory infringement framework set forth in Metro Goldwyn Mayer Studios versus Grokster Limited. Okay. Whether recipient of a takedown notice who publishes the notice with limited editorial comment thereon materially contributes to any prior ongoing direct copyright infringement. Well, the answer to that's no, and the answer to this one up here is no. And then whether posting the posting of a link to copyrighted material saved at a third-party storage provider is the same as posting the infringing material itself. And I would argue again to that one is no. So those are the issues that Null and the farms want to address. These are the ones they want. Now, Russell Greer gets the opportunity to respond himself and frame different questions. And then the court may, if they take this up, which they're probably not, the odds are not in their favor this would happen. I mean, if it did, the lulls would be amazing. The lulls would be amazing. That's the court would then take from this and figure out the issues it wants to address. There'd be more briefing on that. So they talk about here is the disclosures about who they are, and especially if you are, that there's no parent corporations who's really behind these things, you have to disclose that. You point out that Joshua Moon was a defendant in the district court and was the appellant in the 10th Circuit. Russell Greer was a plaintiff in the district court, and he's the appellee below. So they talk about what happened here, the prior cases. So this is the 10th Circuit case. This is the district court case. And this is table of contents listing everything out. So this is going to be very interesting. It's not very long, and we'll probably take time to fully read through it later because there is, well, we just don't have the time tonight, guys. But the basic arguments are laid out here. And the basic arguments are about the publication of the takedown notice. It's fair use in the First Amendment, which can't give it rise to copyright liability. And that's the thing. Russell Greer sent these notices to the farms, and Null posted them and mocked them for it. Well, that's because Russell Greer is goofy, and why not? So they also, and the big argument is the 10th Circuit ignored or misconstrued the court's holding on materiality and knowledge in copyright context. So that's one of the big issues there. Now, we'll work on covering this because he's got a bunch of filings we need to cover. So that might be this week, this weekend. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, something like that. But we'll figure that out. But yes, that is a big deal that's going on. So good luck out there. Good luck, Null. Good luck to the farms. If you guys make it, holy cow, that'll be amazing. But probably not going to happen, but there's nothing wrong with cautious optimism. But we will go through this, I don't know, probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So, how many counts have I gotten banned for? Oh, I think you're asking me. Never mind. Mr. K says this was recorded tomorrow. Yes. Big Happy says, so what justice is on the farms? My bet's Alito. Yeah, it might be him. You never know. That'd be interesting. That would be very, very interesting if it was Justice Alito. Um, Godiva says, I saw that Hughes v. Benjamin was one of the many cited precedents. Yeah, there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there that I think the Farms is going to be able to argue and go from there. I think it'll be great. I think they'll be fine. I think if they got heard, the Supreme Court would overturn the 10th Circuit. I just don't think they're going to get heard just because. Just because. Would Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson be a lol cow? Yeah, I could see her being a lol cow. I could see her being a lol cow. So it would be great though, because the amount, once you get to the Supreme Court, your cases get a lot of attention from a lot of people who have their own interest. So an example, this is a free speech issue, but it's also a copyright issue. So you're going to get people from, the big copyright lobbies and the people trying to lobby for fair use. You're going to get all those people like the EFF and Fire and everybody else wanting to get involved. And they'll all come around and say, "Hey, no, we don't think you're really Nazis anymore. Can we help you guys out? We'd love the clout." So it'll be interesting to see what Null says. I'm sure he's going to tell them to get fucked in more than one way, but it will be interesting. Let's see here. So, moving on, we do have some interesting news. Well, not really interesting news, but an update with Sarah Boone. And I just include this because it is something I think you guys want to know, be aware of. And it's very simple, but our girl Sarah Boone, this was filed yesterday by her attorney, or I'm sorry, it's an order of the court. The last time we were looking at these things, her new attorney number 8. No, there are no new letters. I just checked literally about 9:15 to make sure there weren't anything posted. Was requesting a psychiatrist and a expert to help possibly prepare for a defense. So this is a motion that was authorized in the order to authorize for costs for the psychiatrist. So the honorable Judge Michael Kranick, the circuit judge in Orange County, after having been advised of the motion and what it contains and its premises, hereby orders in a judge that the defendant's motion for authorization for cost is granted. And Patricia Cashman, Sarah Boone's new attorney, is hereby allowed to incur a reasonable cost for psychological services by an individual with expertise in battered women syndrome. So it looks like that's one of the routes they're going to go. For the evaluation of the defendant not to exceed 15 hours at the rate of $200 per hour, totaling no more than $3,000. So for now, whoever they hire can only bill at a maximum of $200 per hour and is not to exceed $15 or 15 hours. And $200 an hour for psychiatrists is pretty cheap. Psychological services is kind of cheap. So, that is for now. But if they need more, they can motion the court to have further payment. But the court kind of starts you out with a little bit so you don't just run it up or get an expert who takes advantage of it. So it's going to take a little while, but I'm sure it's going to happen. We'll find out whether or not Sarah is actually crazy or suffers from battered women syndrome. Now, what does this mean? Well, her trial is set for May 13th. I still don't think that date's going to be set. I know the judge said it's a hard, fast date. Well, even if the defense attorney has a person lined up, they could take this order and go show the psychiatrist. Well, what psychiatrist going to immediately run over to the jail? Well, they got to schedule time to go see Sarah, go to the jail, go talk to her, work on the report, put the report together, give it to the defense attorney. The defense attorney then has to give it to the prosecutor. They get the chance to look at it, go through it, go over it. There might be motions about suppressing the report. The report might not be admissible. The experts might not be admissible. Something might be wrong. I don't see how that gets done in the next, because, it's the end of February. So we got March, April, and then we got May. We got 60-some days before this happens. actually 73 days for this happens. I just don't see how that's going to happen in time. I don't see how it's going to happen in time. So we're probably not doing Sarah Boone until sometime in the summer, which will be very interesting. Just so you guys are aware with that, what the updates are for her. That's a shame since I think she may have more luck with a female. Maybe. We'll see. Just quit. She needs to quit being crazy. Zaman says crazy, yes. Battered, no. Maybe. I think that's probably accurate, but Josh Moon says, did she get it? Josh Mo says, did she get a new lawyer already? Well, back at the beginning of the month, she had gotten a new one, so that's where she is now. But yes, she has a new attorney. A new attorney. And if you guys were not, in case for those of you who are new and don't know Sarah Boone, she is the woman accused of murdering her boyfriend basically by locking him inside a suitcase while he asphyxiated himself. Because she tricked him into getting in there and getting all contortion, and then she zipped it up and he couldn't breathe. So, yeah, rough day for that guy. Now, what the heck are you guys? A to B moving saying that guy was dumb. Yeah, well, they were drunk at the time, and it sounds like she kind of goaded him into doing it. Although it's still not 100% clear how it all shook out because she doesn't give the best recollection of events that seem credible. At least to me. So, on good news, the bump stock ban was heard in the Supreme Court yesterday. Now, ultimately, what have I heard from the people I've been looking around at, the people I trust who've given analysis? Well, it sounds like the bump stocks are going to get overturned, but the Hughes Amendment is not going away, which if you really thought the Hughes Amendment was going to go away, that's never going to happen. Judges are not going to allow us to run around the street with machine guns without any regulatory oversight. They're just not going to do it. Why? Because they're risk averse. And they think guns are ucky. Even Alito, probably Clarence Thomas is the only one who doesn't. But let's be honest, guys. Do you see, let's say machine guns were, the Hughes Amendment was gone. There was no taxing of weapons. You could have whatever you wanted. Do you think you could invite Brett Kavanaugh down on range and see him playing with a MAC-10? No, not happening. Not like Clarence Thomas. You could see him with a belt-fed machine gun on the roof of his RV or something. But that's because that's who he is. Most of these judges, even the ones who are sympathetic to it, are never going to allow that. So what is Garland v. Cargill about? Well, back after the Las Vegas shooting, which still really sketchy. I mean, come on. That window didn't move itself. And one guy certainly didn't move it. Bump stocks were used. And if you guys aren't aware of bump stocks were basically for an AR-15. It is a big oversized stock that you can fit the rifle into, and as you pull the trigger and push forward on it, it starts recoiling off of your finger and gives you an increased rate of fire. I would show you how that works, but YouTube will lose its mind if I show video of it, so we can't do that. Anyway, with a bump stock, you can get cyclic rates of fire that are higher than, with an AR-15, you can shoot a cyclic rate higher than an M16 can shoot. It's really neat. They were a lot of fun. Well, after Las Vegas, in one of President Trump's brilliant moves, the many that he's made, they decided to ban them. And they banned them through the ATF. Why? Well, otherwise, they'd have to redefine the National Firearms Act, the Gun Control Act, and federal law. So instead of dealing with that problem, they just looked around and said, well, it shoots way too fast. So therefore, it's a machine gun. And that became the standard that they used for bump stocks. Well, is it shooting too fast? Well, then he can't have it. So this has been challenged. It was up to Supreme Court. It had its oral arguments. If you guys are not aware, this is the Supreme Court's building. Equal justice under the law. Except for this, except for the Second Amendment is what it should say underneath, like on a wooden sign hanging there. It should be like hanging off of like the hinge. It's like one sided, so it's about to like fall down because that's pretty much how they treat the Second Amendment. Typically, lately it's been different, but for the longest time, that's how the Supreme Court treated the Second Amendment. Now it's this whole thing here. This is from SCOTUS blog. This is not a right leaning thing, and I think it's interesting to see how the left is looking at it. Left and center left groups are treating this, and oh my God, you think the world's ending? But they get down to what happens here in the oral arguments, and there was a substantial amount of time spent on the mechanics of firearms, which highly technical. I mean, they're not that technical. I'm mechanically retarded, and I could figure it out. So ultimately, there was a lot of back and forth, and Clarence Thomas did God's work, and we would probably, I don't know, maybe this weekend we might listen to it if we have some time. Yes, was able to press the deputy U.S. solicitor about how a semi-automatic rifle equipped with a bump stock operates differently from a machine gun. So he was able to explain it, but it did not work very well. The answer he gave is that the M16, the shooter just pulls the trigger and it fires. To fire a rifle with a bump stock, you have to push the rifle forward, which initiates and continues the firing. But then you have to have the trigger getting pulled every time. So they claim, though, the U.S. claims, though, that's only one pull of the trigger, which it's clearly not. Now, the funny thing is, even without a bump stock on, you can bump fire a gun the traditional and old school way. You take your thumb and you put it through the trigger and you loop it through your belt loop. You put your thumb through your belt loop and you just pull forward. And the gun goes back and forth and fires off of your thumb. I know that looks really awkward doing that, but that is a traditional way of doing bump firing. So this idea that you need a bump stock, well, does that mean my thumb is now a machine gun? Does that mean my belt loops are machine guns? Does that mean I turn my belt into or my pants into a machine gun? Does that mean I have to go register my pants with the federal government? It's not clear. So the standard is very problematic. Jonathan Mitchell is the attorney representing Cargill, who was actually asking for the bump stock ban to be overturned. And there was a lot of you can tell these justices fully don't understand how bump stocks work. And these are pretty much gun illiterate people, because the Chief Justice is like, well, what does it actually do? How does it work? And, even Justice Kagan's like, well, he just makes sure his hand stays there and he's pushing forward. And here's the thing. The attorney even says that she's probably right. Well, no, that's actually what Justice Kagan's 100% correct. When you have a bump stock, you're just pushing forward. Your hands aren't moving around. You're keeping forward pressure. And it's just interesting how these judges kind of boomer their way through stuff. So there's a lot of problems with it. One of the bigger ones here is Justice Alito was worried about all the bump stock owners who had devices between the 2018 rule and the decision by the Fifth Circuit holding that the rule is invalid. He characterized the government's response that they can be held criminally liable as disturbing because, well, if the Fifth Circuit says you can own them and you live in the Fifth Circuit, why can't you own them? Why would that expose you to criminal liability? It shouldn't. There's yeah. So the one big problem, though, I guess, was Justice Brown Jackson simply just didn't understand how bump stocks work or how guns work, and you can shoot them with the shoulder thingy that goes up, and there's more thrust per squeeze. So it looks like Congress is going to overturn the bump stock ban and kind of neuter things under Chevron deference just a little bit. They're probably not going to gut it like we think is going to happen. They're not going to do a lot of things. They're just going to really probably do a narrow focus on this. Because remember, guys, these people probably, they're illiterate. They think there's like machine guns on the street with this stuff. So who knows what's going to happen? It sounds like the court is receptive. That's the good news. Stacy over in Local says, fuck the ATF. Well, that is always a fair answer. That is always a fair answer. Up on the horizon says, is there a moderator over in Rumble saying, is there a moderator here? This is worse than Layla. Nah, there's no mod over there. Sorry. Although, can I make a mod? I don't know. I'll just make someone a mod. I don't know how to do that. Oh, well, can't get it to work. Can't get it to work. Uncle Thomas, yes. Uncle Thomas. Did I say Congress? I meant SCOTUS. My apologies. Yes. So, name of some sort said I thought my pants were already registered as a billboard. Oh, that's such a great joke. I mean, it's really a good joke.
You're a funny guy, Sally. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, you guys are trying to build towers and it's not working, so you guys got to fix that. Get that going now. Speaking of the ATFs, do you see what they posted on Twitter today? The replies have been heartwarming. No, I think we'll take a look at that though. Twitter.com, thebirdthing.com. Let's see, ATF. BATFE. Where is the ATF's thing? Oh, are they going to say that they're... Where is it? I can't find it. I mean, I know it's... Wait, how do you... alcohol, tobacco, the ATF parodies. What's the ATF's Twitter handle? Oh. Yeah, well. The ATF HQ. Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh. Oh, hey, look. Funny seeing you here. Funny seeing you here, handsome. Yes, you can see the ATF commemorating to their 4 fallen agents in a little sleepy town in the middle of America called Waco, Texas. Honoring the 4 special agents who made the ultimate sacrifice 31 years ago. Yes, such bravery out there. Such bravery. It's a good thing they're out there like that. Yeah, Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel. I mean, when you think of a name like Mount Carmel, it's like, huh. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like, Oh, it's the guys named the Branch Davidians. Yeah, you may have heard of them. So, yes, but February 28th is the commemoration of the beginning of the Waco siege, the beginning of the ATF attacking the Branch Davidians. And 51 days, the Branch Davidians and David Koresh, stood up against them. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, David Koresh had, this, that, or the other. There was child, quote the great Ethan Ralph. What about the child porn? Well, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, not the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives, and Child Pornography. And for some reason, David Koresh, the man they wanted to arrest, well, they couldn't arrest him when he would routinely leave the compound unarmed and unaccompanied, but they waited till he had gone back in the building. Well, 51 days later, guys, and we'll be around to commemorate it and talk about it. On April 19th, the FBI used tanks and flammable tear gas canisters to start a conflagration that burned the entire compound to the ground, and 82 people died. 82 people perished in the siege, including 18 children who died in a bomb shelter as the fire raged around them and killed them. So, never forgetty for them, but for the ATF, I mean, seethe, lull. Yeah, and we got Jim here saying, what about the 25 kids you burned alive? That gets a like. And, we'll do a little repost. Well, yes, the ATF talking about, oh, yeah, it's so hard out there. Yeah, don't care. Never forgetty. So, yeah, look at all these brave people here. Yeah, your shotgun's a 1/4 inch too short. They would send you all to fucking prison if a piece of pipe is a 1/4 inch too short. All of them. So, got no time for them. So, the only judge I trust is Judge Dredd. Yes. So proud of Waco. Yes. Maddie says they removed the community. No, there's a community up there. Too bad. Yes, in the name of some sort saying it's nice the ATF's commemorating the opening of a new public restroom. Oh, yeah, I hope that's near a river where, migrants make their way. Because it's Waco, so it's like the Brazos. Is it the Brazos River? Because Waco's outside of Baylor, I think. And that's on the Brazos. Texas people, you can correct me. They just let all the migrants make their way up there and just turn that into a migrant camp where they just crap all over it. Swisscar says, my first Twitter account got banned for telling ATF HQ to eat a bowl of rat poison. Well, I mean, you're telling an organization, you're telling not a people. So, it's an impossibility. I don't know why Twitter got mad at you, because you're telling an organization, a monolithic government bureaucracy, to eat a bowl of rat poison. You're not telling the people in it to eat a bowl of rat poison. I don't see the harm. You can't harm an institution. So just something to think about. Waco is on the Brazos. I got it right. The Texas people are going to be very happy with me. Okay, Kitchen Knife Rescue says, how do you pick up a chick who's a Branch Davidian? With a shop vac. Oof. Oof, that is rough. That is rough. That is rough. But that's very funny. Yes, FPS Russia and FPS Kyle was a threat because he made guns look so cool. So yes, they crucified him. They used him because he was ordering weed. And that's how they got rid of him. Say, Cosmos says, Waco's a suspension bridge. You can hang all kinds of things from a suspension bridge. I learned that watching what happened in Iraq in 2004. The Blackwater operators. I guess maybe it works on feds. Shh. No talk. No talk. Will you write me an appeal to get my Twitter back? Actually, you know what you do right now? Just if you lost your Twitter in the meantime, just ask for it to get back because remember, Elon's changed the rules. Like the gulag has been opened. You just have to ask to get out sometimes. That's what I did. That's how I had to get some accounts undone. So I've regained some burner accounts. And it's not as perilous as it used to be. Trying to get to the top of the list right on, Sean. That's fine. They deserve it. They need a good list. Sean, what is the meaning you are saying? You'll figure it out when you're older. You'll figure it out when you're older. So, but yes, that's Waco. 500 people watching tonight. Thanks, guys. Thank you for being here. If you guys don't mind, please, you guys give me a like or something down below. We can make YouTube have to realize that this is good quality content. And it's not absolute garbage for the most part. Moving, and this is one that I'm going to try to get a hold of the lawsuit because this sounds very interesting. P. Diddy. Now, P. Diddy is being accused in a federal lawsuit of unwanted sexual contact. I guess we'll start here with this part. Somebody named Rodney Jones Jr., which I don't know, maybe in Zer land that might be female, but that sounds like a guy to me. So I guess we'll start with that. Is filed a lawsuit alleging that lawyer for Mr. Combs. He was sued on Monday by a music producer who accused the hip hop mogul of making unwanted sexual contact and forcing him to hire prostitutes and participate in sex acts with them. Well, the unwanted sexual contact part, okay, yeah, that would be awkward, but Sean Combs forced this guy to hire prostitutes and then he forced him to have sex with the prostitutes. I'm really curious to see how that part shook out. Like, did he put a gun to the guy's head? And he's like, "You're gonna have sex with that hooker. You better." Like, how did that go? How did that go? So the latest allegation was filed in federal district court in Manhattan by Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod. Like these jokes can't write themselves, guys. This is the fates. I don't know. I mean, this is just great. This is great. The fates smile upon us, chat. God truly has a sense of humor. While they were working on an album that became the Love album, Off the Grid. Yes, while working on the Love album, I was forced to have sex with prostitutes. Mr. Combs, the hip hop and R&B impresario, who is variously known as Puff Daddy and P. Diddy. Jones says he served as a producer on 9 of the album's tracks and lived with P. Diddy for months at a time. As it started to get more and more sussy, I'm just, I mean, I'm curious to see how this one's going to go. I really want to see this lawsuit because I'm like, what the hell's going on? P.D.'s looking like, you got a butt. That's good enough. Come here. Oh. Yeah. Yes. The kitchen knife says the little rod endorsed the Baldo. Yes. And Alpha Fox says, Sean Puff Me Combs. Yes. And where is, I just missed it. Where was it? It was so funny. I just saw it. F. Gusto says, hard thug loving. Is there any other kind of love from a thug but hard love? Grim's Bar says, how you doing, Grim? It's good to see you. Saying, Off the Grid was recorded at the corner of Bumfuck and You Got a Purty Mouth. Oh, holy cow. This is just, jeez. We're going to have to review this because this is very interesting. Now, it's filed in Manhattan. And you guys remember there were all these lawsuits that got filed because of the whole Trump E. Jean Carroll thing where they opened up the floodgates to sue Trump. So that's why all this stuff happened out in New York. So there's always been rumors about Tupac, Jim. Yes. And then Big Happy says, so this is what buck breaking is, huh? I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm still like, wait. I'm like, what? You go from getting into like shootings with J-Lo where she has to hide a murder weapon to now you're like sexually assaulting some dudes and like forcing them to have sex with prostitutes as well at the same time. Like, where did you, where did this come from? Although, there's people also accuse him of being involved in getting like Biggie, assassinated. But once again, that's more of a chat. No, we're not talking about that. They said, while working on the album, Diddy grabbed his genitals without consent, and that he also tried to groom him into having sex with another man, telling him is a normal practice in the industry, as pioneered by Eazy-E from NWA. So in the statement, Lil Rod is, so Diddy's attorney says this guy's a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit looking for a payday. His reckless name dropping is not going to get him anywhere. We have overwhelming and indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. I'm hoping all of it's a complete lie because, some of this is, even if, you don't want it to be like, well, we didn't do all of it, but I may have grabbed his dick once or twice. You're like, that's not really, that's not a better look. You're like, I didn't have sex with him or force him to have sex. I just grabbed his balls sometimes. You're going to use the Vince McMahon defense. What's a little ball touching amongst friends? Yes. Well, what's a little ball touching amongst friends? A lot of things there. So no, that's not good. When the suit was filed, the court system originally said it was worth $30 billion. Ooh. His lawyer said that was an error and be corrected $30 million. Which, that's probably a little more proper complaint. According to the complaint at a listening party in July 2023 at Diddy's home in California, this guy was forced to drink shots of tequila laced with drugs, though the legal papers do not specify who offered him the shots or how he was forced. In the suit, he says that after he had the drink, he passed out and awoke at 4 a.m. in the morning naked with a hooker sleeping next to him. How do you know it was a hooker? Could have just been some chick. I mean, unless you're saying all the chicks there are hookers. Be careful you say that. Some of Diddy's hoes might want to cut you for that. Also, according the claims is that Diddy forced this guy to solicit sex workers to perform sex acts for Diddy. Like Diddy likes to watch, apparently. Just like Vince McMahon. That's a thing with these guys, these celebrities. Like, I just like to watch. Yes. I wonder if Diddy poops on people too. Just like Vince. So to induce him, he was offered money. Okay. Well, so wait, you're going to I paid for this hooker. Now I want you to have sex with the hooker. And you don't want to do it? Okay, I'll pay you to have sex with the hooker I paid for. Why would you keep that's just chasing money, man? Diddy's got a lot of money, so I guess he can do that, but it's like, why? He was also threatened with violence. Okay, like what? That's curious. I don't even know. So it's a 73-page lawsuit. We're definitely going to go through that because that sounds very, very interesting. So, he also said he wasn't properly paid for his work as a producer on the Love album. There we go. Now we're getting to the real reason why something may be happening here. Okay. Huh. 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 Then he also had a GoFundMe going, said, "Help me sue Diddy." And as of Monday, he had raised only 1,500 of his stated goal of 50 G's. Well, it can always be worse. It can always be worse. Um, so anyways, here's the guy's thing. He's got $2,000. So yeah, people are like, people are apparently that this news article has been helpful for that. So the reason why I bring this up is because in November, um, who Cassandra Ventura, who was Diddy's longtime girlfriend, um, accused him of rape and physical and sexual abuse in a detailed lawsuit that made headlines. Remember, that got settled the next day. Like, she filed that lawsuit, and the next sound anybody heard was a check being cut, because that's what that was about. They couldn't reach an agreement. They were trying to negotiate, and negotiations broke down, so they filed the lawsuit. And at that point, Diddy's like, "Damn," cut the check, and now it went away. So, it had been resolved. Both parties saying it had been resolved amicably, and that Diddy denied the accusations. Yeah. Well, when you cut a check so fast it catches fire coming out of your checkbook, yeah, that's a weird way of denying things. Just saying. So, uh now remember, guys, this whole thing with Trump and E.G. and Carroll allowed anybody to come out of the woodwork, um, and it gave them a window for these claims to be reignited and alive again. So, it was revived by an amendment to a New York state law that established a window for claims to be filed. I don't know why it says New York City law. But anyways, lawyers said the claim irreparably damaged Diddy's reputation based on rank and uncorroborated allegations. But he's got a bunch of problems that he's been dealing with. But this is the result of that. And this guy's new thing, it's a history of ongoing. So that's why it's outside of 2023. So it's not taking part in the E.G. and Carroll thing, but I think the guy's capitalizing on all the negative press towards Diddy. Well, why don't I shake him down a little bit? It sounds like Diddy owes him money for the work he did, but now there's also all the weenus touching, which that's that is so weird. That is so weird. Ah, that is so weird. Jonathan Doiger for $9.99 says they're not hookers, they're commercial companions. It is an important distinction that shouldn't be understated. These garden tools ain't loyal, though. That's so true. These garden tools aren't loyal. They never are. They are never going to be loyal. Yes, the garden implements of questionable taste appear to be upset and disgruntled. What time is the Fani Willis hearing? It's like at 2. I'll get it set up tomorrow morning. I forget the time. It's like right around 2. Uh, Zero Fuck saying you gotta check the texture. Jeez. Oh no, 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 no. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. Um Blade 2.0 says, I hope that crackhead guy from 2008 sues Obama now. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if you guys do remember that, but back in 2008, there was a limo driver who said that uh, him and Obama more than one time smoked crack in the back of a limo and like blew each other. His name was like Larry Sinclair or something like that, I think. Uh, well, that didn't happen in New York. If it did, that would have been hilarious if that would have got resurrected. So, um, Grimsbar says checks. Hold on. You have to do like commercials like, this has been brought to you by Checks. Checks, the one thing hoes can't cut. Oh. Ethan Ralph says, enjoy the hookers, raper child. Oh. Oh my gosh. Um, Greg says Tucker interviewed Diddy? Huh. Huh, I mean, that would actually be a very interesting story. That'd be a very interesting one. I mean, that's up there with like, if you told me, hey, Tucker interviewed Putin, I'd be like, oh, cool. I'd want to listen to that one. Tucker interviewed Diddy. I'd want to listen to that one too. Yeah. Or are you talking about the guy Obama had sex with? I'm not sure if you're talking about that. Oh no. So the guy who blew Obama. Oh, the guy who blew. Oh, I was right. It is Larry Sinclair. So yes, okay, that guy went on Tucker. Well, I don't want to see. Yes, tell me in detail how you and Obama smoked crack. Like, how'd you prefer to do it? Did you freebase it? Did you put it in the pipe? What was your favorite brand of chore boy to use? When you guys blew each other, like, did he accidentally blow you with like a bit of hot crack rock in his mouth? Did it ever burn your wiener? Like, I don't need to hear any of that. What can you gain by interviewing a guy like that? Like, hey, 15 years ago you said the president blew you. What do you have to say now? Where are this is your life. Where are you now? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, that guy blew Big Mike. Yeah, he blew Michelle too. I did see part of the Tucker and Ice Cube interview. So, yeah, did they smoke it anally? A name of some sort says that was the brunt of the conversation. Yes, like I don't need to hear about that. I already assume. I already assume they did a lot of stuff in the back of that limo. Um, Sunshine says not many people have achievements, Sean. Sorry. Mitch says, I believe Larry Sinclair. I believe him too. I don't need to hear more about it. He said enough 15 years ago. And I was like, ugh. I'm like, God, that's got to be true. That's very weird. Why? I'm like, I'm done. I believe it, but I don't need any more. Yes, turn up say believe all men. Carrie says, I've never smoked crack. Yes, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. That had to be crack cut with Crisco if I'm smoking it, because apparently it didn't get me skinny. Worst crack ever. I still got all my teeth too, so it's not good crack. Um, Kimmy Joe saying real quick saying Governor Kathy Hochul is threatening to seize truckers' bank accounts for not delivering into her state. Is that illegal? Is that legal? I don't see how it is. Why? I don't see how she has the right to seize them. I mean, she talks about all kinds of crap, but no, there's no way she'd have the grounds to seize them. Chaucer says, remember in the 90s when rappers were killing each other and not doing gay stuff? I mean, they were still doing gay stuff in the 90s. We just didn't know about it. Like, what you think Eazy-E was doing? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I do Cracker Jacks. Yes. Yes. Jester's saying I'd be like, Hunter, did you dirty the cutting? Oh. Max Murray says crack is slimming. Have you ever seen a fat crack addict? No. Every crackhead is skinny as fuck, man. So it works. That's all they do is smoke crack. Southern Gal says, I see a safe. Did you take Fanny's racist dad's advice? Yes. That's exactly it. He's like, y'all need to keep cash at home. And I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna go buy a safe. No, it's been there forever. Oh. All right, guys, we need to keep moving along here. So Easy E was assassinated with what? A needle full of HIV? Like, uh Yes, Big Happy says meth does wonders for the physique as well. Yes. Mitch says do some meth to slim down. I know the meth diet's great. Okay, Eric does have a good. Artie Lang was fat and he was a crackhead. Yeah, but I thought his main thing was doing heroin and opiates. But hey, that's oh God. Why is this not working right? What the heck here? Jacob's saying over in Rumble, my daughter just got blocked from Roblox for 24 hours. A character she built had fat in the name. Oh, I was going to say, I thought you were going to. Well, hopefully she gets it back, but I was hoping that'd be a pretty base thing. Valley Law for $2. Thank you. Saying, I can't even safely raw dog. Yeah, can't even safely raw dog the homies these days. I know. What's the world coming to? Malcolm Combs for $2 saying, I reminded of that Boondocks episode. Yes. There's usually kind of like The Simpsons. There's usually a Boondocks episode that's on point. And then yeah, when they had like the Luther Vandross sandwich. And Drew M says for $2, he's just speechless. He's like, Sean, you're so fucking amazing. I got nothing I can say. For me to utter words would just take away from your greatness. I think that's what he's trying to say, but I respect that. I appreciate that, Drew. Thank you. Oh. So, all right, guys, we have a couple more things to get through here. If you guys were not aware, I'm just going to bring this up real quick. We covered it last night. Former President Trump was removed from Illinois' ballot for the Republican primary on March 19th because of insurrection. So if you weren't aware, that happened yesterday. We covered the opinion yesterday. Shocker, I know. They copied and pasted the ruling they got from Colorado. They literally did. They admitted, and they talked about this. We literally admitted everything from Colorado. We included it, and now we incorporate all of it. And they said, well, there's nothing that's really been done but one court, the court in Colorado. Well, that's the only one we can look to because that's the only opinion out there. No shit. No shit. It's the only one out there because it's insane. Now, the removal action is temporarily stayed. Trump has until, I think, Friday to appeal this and file a notice of appeal. Once he does that, there's a stay that's going to be ordered in effect, just like in Colorado. So he stays on the ballot and then, goes forward from there. And so his team's likely going to file the appeal if they haven't done it already. They'll get it filed by the deadline. Everything gets stayed. March 19th comes around. He runs wins the Illinois primary. You can call it Illinois if you happen to be French, I guess. Probably going to curb stomp Nikki Haley again. And we'll see what happens. Although still waiting for the Supreme Court to just drop a bomb and watch people lose their mind. So just wanted to let you know that is a little bit of the lawfare going on. Another thing that's going on, and it is an appellate court declined Trump's pause to pay the $454 million fraud penalty regarding his bond. Now, when you have a civil suit and there's a judgment against you, you can appeal it. But depending on the type of situation, and also if people fucking hate you, and in this case, the state of New York hates Donald Trump. Let's there's no lying about that. I mean, let's be real. They don't like the Orange Man. He is bad. He is the Orange Man. There's no.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, let's be really honest. Yeah, so he's been told, no, you got to put up all $400 million. So he's going to do that. But there were some things, and doing that stays enforcement against that judgment. So putting it up stops everything, and it keeps Letitia James from trying to foreclose on properties and cause problems that way. Now, we talked about last week or the week before, Letitia James screwed up because she didn't include Trump Towers Holding Corporation, the right one, the right corporate entities in the lawsuit that control Trump Tower. So I wants that, gives me that. Well, womp, womp, womp. She messed up there. So what has happened, though? So the appellate judge denied his refused to hold collection of the penalty while he appeals. And he also rejected a request to be allowed to post a partial bond. Trump offered $100 million up to post as a bond, and he said, nope, you got to do the full amount to stop enforcement of the judgment. There were some things that were granted. The 3-year ban on him seeking loans from banks has been put on hold. People believe that he will use that to help secure the necessary money because they keep on going, well, he's a billionaire, but he's broke. He's got no money. Trump's a liar. The orange man lies. And they believe that. So, most of his worth is not in cash. Most of his worth is out there in real estate. So he's got to figure out ways to free it up. So they offered to float the smaller bond amount, but the judge ruled that he needs to post the full amount, which would pause the collection of the $400 million verdict automatically. So he needs to, him and his co-defendants, which include Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., they owe $465 million to the state of New York for doing nothing. They didn't take $465 million from the state of New York. They didn't cheat the state of New York out of $465 million. Apparently, they stole money from the evil banksters. The evil Jew bankers didn't get their $465 million. So the state doing the work of the Rothschilds. Now, and this is the thing here, by asking, the funny part is Letitia James' office said, well, he must have insufficient assets. Well, why would you not ask to pay less money? I would. Like, if you find, let's say there was a fine of $100 and I had to post it to appeal it. Well, why wouldn't anybody in their right mind go up to the court and say, hey, can I post $20 instead of $100? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you post as little as you can and try to get away with as much as you can? We all would. So, it is funny, though, that they say, these are the circumstances which a full deposit is necessary. And that Trump's offer would leave James's office in the state with substantial shortfalls if the verdict is upheld. Yes, because the $465 million is going to turn around all the shitty problems in the state of New York. It's going to fix everything, that $465 million. It's going to fix all of it, chat. Including the shitstorm that has turned into New York City. Nope, this will fix everything. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Would I like to think that the appeals court's going to be like, wow, Judge Engoron was a fucking asshole? Yeah, I'd like to think they will, but are they going to? Probably not. They're going to look at Trump and go, lol. And they're just going to let him twist in the wind because fuck him, he's the orange man. Why bother? Grimsbart says, what about the 7th Amendment? How is this not a violation of it? Oh, I'm sure that they're going to bring that up on an appeal. But remember, it's just like Alex Jones. What are they going to say? Well, you're a bad man. It doesn't matter. You're bad. You're so bad, man, that the law doesn't apply to you. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're just going to say, fuck you, Donald Trump. Well, that's what they do. Panzer Dude says they could have got a higher interest rate. No, that's the thing. The collection is paused if he puts up the $400 million. But the juice is always running. No, the points don't stop. Panzer Dude, brother, points don't sleep. They're always working. You know, it's like if you don't make your vig and you kick up a light envelope, those points get tacked on with interest to the next. Like, no, there's always points running. There's annual interest that will have to be paid and will be tacked on to the principal as this case goes on. And this is going to take forever to appeal. So you could see this taking a while. I mean, it could go away up to the Supreme Court, which would be funny if the United States Supreme Court got involved and said, yeah, it's an amendment violation. Bam! That would be great. That would be great, but I don't know if that's going to happen. AJ says 500 million basically buys New York City like 15 days. New York City spends $100 billion a year. The state spends $233 billion. Yeah. SCOTUS's usury is great. Yeah. Ooh. Hey, Bubba, you want to come here? You want to come on? Oh my gosh, you're all wet. You went out in the snow. I can feel it. Hi, buddy. Okay, anything you want to tell people to investigate tonight on their own when they get free time? You know, like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? What? What is it? You're not going to let people watch you today? You're like, fuck these people. They can stare at my ass. Well, I got a show to run, bud, if you don't want to help. So, you don't want to tell people about Operation Northwoods, MK Ultra, Building 7, anything like that. You know, sorry, buddy, we got the show to do. Letitia bragged about it being $140K a day, pretty much. He says, I want to take a dump on the ATF's grave. That's what Clyde wanted to do. Yeah. All right. Oh, the Montauk Project. I don't know about that one. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to screenshot that and look into that later. All right, guys. What else we got here? Reddit has been instant banning people for making posts about Operation Gladio, I've heard. Well, nothing wrong with Operation Gladio. That was some good stuff, people doing the Lord's work. Okay. Don't look into Montauk. Why not? It's time travel and stuff like the Philadelphia experiment, because that's a fucking cool one, the Philadelphia experiment. It's also the cool thing when you're playing Red Alert. But yes, Operation Gladio, that's some good shit. Helping try to keep Italy communist free. Gladio, those boys were doing God's work in Europe. Let's see here. We got a couple more super chats. Grimsbar for $2 saying, 14th Amendment, Section 5, anyone? Shake my head. I understand, and I think that's what's going to happen with the Supreme Court. They're going to be like, you know, when it says Congress shall pass a law, that's express preemption saying Congress shall do something. Not Congress. If they don't do something, the states can do whatever they want. That's not how that works. It's all going to come down to Congress, and if they don't do anything, then nothing can be done to stop it. Down forward punch for $5. Thank you. Oh, love that repping the dark side Phil there. Do you have a P.O. box? I have a fantastic. I have a fantastic pepperoni. Homemade pepperoni I'd love to send you. It's from Milwaukee and made by a guy named Richard Prongay. Yes, I do have a P.O. box. It is listed below. If you open up the down below, there's a P.O. box there, please. Um, yes, if you're really gonna send that, please also don't be afraid to put something in the box that's ticking and will alleviate my suffering. So yes, you can send all your mail to P.O. Box 716 in Willoughby, Ohio 44096. Oh, jeez. Stop Moss B for $2. Stop Moss B for $2 says nothing. It's almost like that's so like text to read can read to a blind person what the super chat is. Thank you. That's great. Um Southern Gal says, did you read that Phil Holloway Esquire tweet about the fact they have indeed tied an employee at Fannie's office getting paid for $130K from the Biden White House? Yeah, there's some allegation with that, which will be very interesting how they work that out. I know there's a lot more to it, but I'm sure that there's all kinds of fuckery that's going to go on the more that gets dug into this. And I still think that the unraveling of the Georgia case and the collapse of it will then lead to the collapse of everything else. They're all tied together by that thread. And you start pulling that thread, Georgia collapses. And then what's going to happen from there? Well, one of the bigger ones is like Florida. We haven't heard a whole lot from the Florida case. Why? There's nothing worth leaking, which means there probably isn't anything there. So we're going to see a collapse of that case, or we're going to see a collapse in New York. And then I think finally the collapse of the January 6th case. But that's going to come with the Supreme Court doing the coup de grace and coming up to that case in the back of the head and just Lubyanka style. I think that's how it's going to happen. So Arthur says, send Sean a pizza. Well, you're going to be sending pizzas to a post office, so I'm sure they're going to enjoy them. I don't think he sent pizzas to a P.O. box. Oh. John says, can we mail you cannabis seeds? Not that they are legal there. I'd really rather you guys not do that. Please don't do that. Let's see here. Afix saying, but for real though, Jean-Benet Ramsey is Lady Gaga. That's trippy. I'd love to hear that theory. No, speaking of feds, apparently somebody thinks feds are getting in. Get them, buddy. Get them. Jester says, change the name to Definitely Criminal. Well, yeah, that kind of takes away the mystique if it's definitely. AJ John, though, we're gonna move on from here, guys. So AJ John says, for $5, New York spends $273,972,602 per day. Why did I scroll up and look at that when I've got it like right here? Trump's judgment buys them less than 2 days of funding. That's $11,415,525 per hour. Sorry for the autistic accounting. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Remember, it's not just New York City, but it's the state of New York. Letitia James is the Attorney General for the entire state of New York, so it's not even going to just New York City. But yes, this is a great way of showing that this is just complete insanity. Downward forward punches. Aim, aim, aim. Oh, Eric Fulham says that's an old conspiracy. I have not heard that one before. And I love to dabble in conspiracies. Stabby saying cannabis seeds contain no THC. I understand, but what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with that? Like, I'm like, edibles are great. And you'd be like, of course they are, fatty. Yes, but I mean, like, gummies, things like that. That's the way, if I'm going to partake, is perfect for me. I do not smoke marijuana. It is not pleasant to do that. I do not like it at all. President-elect Phil Swift for $5. Thank you. Is saying Sean thinks it's real funny when he said fertilizer in his P.O. box and Rent Ryder trucks in his name. For real laughs. Combine the two. Well, you got to do more. You're just sending me bags of fertilizer. Are they sensitized? Like, you going to send me bags of fertilizer and order kerosene? Because you got to sensitize the fertilizer. And then what about your booster charge? You need a booster charge. So you're only part way there. Come on, Phil. You've been around for how long now? You know that you need to do more. Just shake my head. Shake my damn head. Let's see. You had THC infused jalapeno peanut brittle was the bomb. I'd actually try that. I'd try that. Doesn't sound bad. And Balm says you can't buy ammonium nitrate anymore. Yeah. Not with that attitude. Not with that attitude. I'm going to get 80 pounds of coleslaw. That's... My P.O. box isn't that big. I'm going to get a sticky note in there like, please come to the front desk. They're going to fucking hate me. You guys send all kinds of shit. Big Happy says, motor oil. Old motor oil works better than kerosene. It does. But the amount of old motor oil you're going to need to sensitize that much fertilizer is where the problems lie. So, you gotta figure it out how you're gonna do it. And, the realities of the logistics dictate your tactics. MW says, I'm not writing any of that down. AJ John for $2, thank you, is saying $638,356,164 is New York State's daily budget. So this doesn't even cover. Wow, this doesn't even cover one day. She got it's like 6 hours out of an 8-hour day. Although in reality, this is more like maybe 15, 16 hours of a 24-hour day's worth of money. Yes, it's a shortfall the state can't suffer. Send C4 so I can make a Baldo-shaped charge. That would be funny. And then put a piece of copper on the inside of it, the top of the dome, and make it like a Baldo EFP. That would be cool. Ethan Rouse saying, do I also think the CIA joggers glow in the dark? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Turbo Goat says, I keep 250 gallons of diesel on hand. Well, there you go. Oh. All right. I said we were going to move on. We haven't moved on. Holy cow. You guys are 531 people here watching tonight, guys. Thanks. I appreciate that. Guys, please give me a like or something down there. Just let's fuck with the algorithm, because let's get to the top. Let's get all the way to the top, chat. So we do have some interesting stuff here, and it's if you guys remember, we've been dealing with the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard. If you guys remember her, she is the brave queen. Yas, queen. And she is the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and she's running it like a robber baron. And it is hilarious how she is turning that town in her own piggy bank. If you guys don't remember who she is, this is her right here in all her glory. Wait, is this working right? Yeah. Oh, and we are good. All right. Tiffany Weaveyard. Oh. Yes, the super mayor. Yes. Oh, yeah, she's super all right. She's super when the FBI is gonna look into her. But yeah, I love this. I love this comment from her. I wish I had like a HD version of this because I'd save it. It'd be a great bit to have on deck.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black.
Y'all black. I love how she just does that. Y'all black. 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 She's saying black with a Q. BLAQUE. Yeah, so she is launching a podcast. Which this just reeks of like when you're watching Casino and Ace Rothstein starts Aces High to start fighting with the Nevada Gaming Commission. And you guys remember how Casino turned out. And this is just like she thinks this is the right idea. Like, here we go. Here we go. I mean, she's launching a podcast. And as questions continue to spend around the questionable spending and unpaid bills, literally she is running the city dry. They're running out of money to fix roads, water mains, pay for things that break down like police cars. It's really bad. She's attacking her opponents in the city, attacking their businesses, locking them out, harassing them. I mean, this woman is like Al Capone, the Dailies, and like Tammany Hall wrapped into one. Imagine Tammany Hall with a weave. That's what we got right now. That's the best way I can describe this woman. She is Tammany Hall with a weave. And she's going to do a fucking podcast. Which, you know what? I hate to say this, but I'm going to fucking listen to it. I'm going to listen to it. Why wouldn't you? Sula says, I drove past your billboards. The gift that keeps on taking. Yes. Yes, Pepsi Man. Yes, thank you. Did you see the Super Mayor starting a podcast with Spotify? Yes, that's what we're getting into. Yes. Y'all black. Y'all black. Oh. Yes. Wakanda forever. Stacy's saying that's a full-on wig. Someone needs to snatch that. Well, remember, like Tommy Sotomayor said, the hair-hatted hooligans. He says, you got to be crazy to have someone sew someone else's hair onto your head. So, she's a boss, babe. Yeah. And Jester says, Illinois is a little known for corruption. Yeah, but holy shit, she ain't even hiding it. She's just like, this is like Boss Hog. It's like, no shame. So, what do we have with this anyway? So, this gets great. She is launching her podcast. And a description of the podcast. Why is this? Oh, don't tell me this is going to go crash. All right, well, you know what? It's still going. All right. So get ready for the most entertaining political podcast ever. Tiffany Henyard on the Move podcast is filled with humor. Like, what kind of humor? Like, remember when I cost the city all their money? Like, that's so funny. It's so funny, guys. It's so funny. It's so interesting. Humor, facts, and most importantly, the tea. What's her tea going to be? Like, yeah, I spent all that money. I spent all that money on blackjack. Well, wait, she'd be like, I spent all that money on craps. That's the dignified way to shoot dice. So yeah, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. I think this is gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be worth listening to or watching because Imagine she starts running it like Joe Rogan. She's like, pull that shit up. And instead she's like, no, pull that shit off their wall. I want that. Oh. Catherine says, good evening. Recovering from oral surgery. Well, glad you're back. Hopefully it's not too bad for you. Jonathan says, Shaniqua and Quaya. It's almost like that song, like, is Shaniqua there? That takes me back. Shaniqua don't live here no more. Let's see here. What are we at to this? Stabby gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Stabby. I know whoever gets one of those is going to be very appreciative. Guys, make sure you tell them thank you if you get one. Grimsbar says $11,415,525 out of $19,469,200. Did I say 19,000? I meant 19,469,232. Yes, for just 59 cents a day, you can support a New Yorker. With your pledge, you'll be given a photo of your crackhead you're supporting, just like Sarah McLachlan's song. Oh, that's great. And then Southern Gal says, tomorrow in court for the intro, I could play the Moving On Up theme song. I would, but I'll get copy struck. That'd be great, though. Fanny walks in, but moving on up to the east side, to that deluxe apartment in the sky. Although for her, it was like the deluxe cabin on the cruise ship. And Malcolm Combs for $2 says, to be fair, in Casino, Ace got to live and walk away. Well, except for the car bomb, and then people trying to kill him, and then everybody else being dead. So yeah. And D for $5 says, rip Eazy-E. He got his assassinated. Them dang diseases, man. Google was being a bellend and not letting me send this. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you putting in the effort. Down Forward Punch for $5 says, no, Tiffany. Gotta speak in, you gotta put the Fatrick parentheses on the beginning and end for coding. Yes. No, Tiffany Henry, it is you who will be arrested by the FBI for fraud. Enjoy prison. Corruption child. Yeah, apparently there are pushes for the FBI to get involved and start looking into her, which they probably should at some point. So that is, wow. Then over here, Little Galaxy says his girl boss is going off the deep end. Yes. So Hansel Pack or Hansel PK saying all bad politicians eventually try to get news anchor jobs. So she's just trying to prime the pump for that next step. Yeah. Truly, it could be. It could be. I don't know how this is going to be. And then Phil Swift, President-elect Phil Swift for $1.99 says, in before it's an all-black financial self-help podcast. Oh, though, who'd be a great guest I want to see go on? Lead attorney. He should go on and be like, talking to her like, hey, what up? Like, I'd love to see him, him fuck with her. That'd be great. Oh, that'd be so damn funny. So actually, it's a link.
Hey guys, it's Super Mayor Tiffany.
Oh my God, we are gonna. Oh, this is her. We're gonna listen to this, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is gonna be good. Let's see this here. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henry, the people's mayor. So I heard you guys was looking for me. If you're looking for Tiffany Henry, press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. So, what do you want me to talk about? This or that? This and that? Or me? Tiffany A. Henry. You pick. Put your questions in the comments, and I'm going to answer all questions. Just be respectful. If you're disrespectful, I'm not going to answer it. Because remember.
And I'll send my goons to fuck you up. I'll kill you.
I got the tea with the receipts. Matter of fact, if you want the tea, get it from me. Go tell that.
You know, the way she's got that's probably some like fucking Grey Goose in there. Oh, we'll have to watch one of those coming up, guys. We're gonna have to watch one of those. Yeah, probably a whole thermos full of Grey Goose, just goosing it up. Oh, extra Black Lives Matter, extra. Yes, yes, Mayor drive by. Oh, well, she mentioned Jacob. Jacob, yes. She gonna turn into a Moor, yeah, as well. Yes, Negro Sean. That's a very phonetic way to do Sean. It says America's turning into one big MDE skit. Yeah. It really is. And praise be unto Samuel Hyde. He truly was a man ahead of. He's a man ahead of his time. So, guys, if you haven't watched it, Fish Tank season 2 was really good. Was really, really good. Barton Bell is saying Catherine Herridge has been found in contempt for failure to disclose her sources. Ooh. Catherine Herridge, she used to CBS and national security stuff she covered as a reporter. So she was told to give up her sources and she didn't. So she's being held in contempt. Ooh. Bella, we'll have to keep track of that one. Talk to me about that when we go into locals so I can look into that and take some notes. KJ says, always been on black. Yes. That's something Wesley Snipes would say in a movie as it happens. I think he's done that in a movie before. Oh, what movie is that? Is that the one where he's like on the hijacked airplane? He's like, always bet on black. Like Passenger 57 or something shit like that. He's like an air marshal and he's like, always bet on black. I don't remember. I think that's it. If the BT 1000 strikes again, she's the upgraded model. She's an upgraded model. Capone says, Jamie, pull up that bear video. She supposedly has hired people to drive by on a woman who opposes her. Well, yeah, that's hey. Do it yourself. Just drive by in a van, have the door slide open, and just put it out DIY. We're a DIY nation. Do your own work. Yeah, she's gonna ban everyone. That's the thing here. This is correct. See, she'll ban everyone in the chat. She'll like 5 minutes in, and it's just gonna be nothing. It's gonna be blank. It's gonna be a wasteland. Be like 10,000 people watching, and there's nobody in chat. So, oh no. So you can buy a license to play music and avoid the copy strikes. Yeah, but some of the some like license holders want a lot of money for their stuff. So that's why you have me doing karaoke. I can do karaoke with stuff, guys. I will give you my renditions of songs. So I'll play that when Fanny walks in. Fanny will walk in, chirp. John says, I bet it's just how to mix baking soda and cocaine. Yes. Chaucerian Fraud says, do people use the term ratchet anymore? Sure, you could always use it. Okay. Well, yes, we was mayoral and shit. Yes, every video in the comments have been turned off. Zero fucks. Yes, Bill Towers in her chat. Yes, I'm sure she I don't know about her chats. Maybe they don't require building permits. Mine doesn't. You can build the biggest towers you can build. Yes. There's video of that drive-by, really? I want to see that. I would love to see that. Like, what's her idea of this like horrible drive-by? Yes, would the bullets be a taxable write-off? I'd like to think so. If I was going to do a drive-by and somebody paid me to do it, I could deduct all the expenses involved. Get those hollow tips. Like 50 Cent says, down forward punch for $2 says Vibranium's weakness is smoke detector chirps. Yes. Oh. Patty said she watches her chicken at the city Independence Day celebration. Oh, I've seen those memes. That's so horrible. That stuff is just when people do that crap. AJW had that video of commentary. Oh, okay. Right, yeah, we're gonna have to look for that drive-by video. Maybe we'll watch it we'll watch it on locals, because if it's like an actual drive-by going down, you can't watch that here. Yes, the ceiling birds. Yes, the ceiling birds they never migrate. That's the beauty about the ceiling birds. They never migrate away. Hashif says, have I seen the hastily made Cleveland tourism videos? Of course I have. And they're pretty accurate. So, AJW's actual Justice Warrior is also a Sean. Yes, he is. Nate showed it on his channel. Huh. Well, I haven't seen it, so I got to take a look at it. I don't know. So, it's not bad down the block video. Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't know where it's at, and I don't know where to go look for it. So, if you guys know where it's at, let me know. And apparently, like, you put it in locals or somewhere, I could probably find it and do something with it. Okay, so a couple more things, guys. We are going to finish up for the night here. We're not done yet. 544 people watching. Holy cow. Thanks, guys. Yes, Cleveland's economy was based on LeBron James. Yes. Yes, and when he left, it just imploded. That's the bad part about all of it. That's the bad part about everything. Oh, no. So this is one where you see the headline and you panic. But is there really more to it? And yeah, I mean, reading this alone, you're like, oh my God, the judge was expelled from the bench for a shocking reversal of a teen sex assault conviction. Well, what the hell happened? So an Illinois judge who reversed a teen sexual assault conviction in a shocking move that sparked nationwide outrage has been expelled from the bench. So the judge, Robert Adrian, will no longer serve as a judge after the 7-member Illinois Court Commission, well, then I guess it wasn't so overblown when they decided to remove him from the bench Friday for reversing the conviction of Drew Clinton, then 18, at his January 2022 sentencing hearing. Wow, this is a bit going back in time. Wow, so this is a long time coming. I mean, sex assault jokes aside. Also, guys, here this got brought up. The Hunter Biden transcripts from his testifying in front of the congressional committees is getting released. So we'll be going through that because apparently he does talk about a lot of shit that doesn't implicate Joe Biden. So we'll see what we can get out of that. Yeah. Ethan Ralph says your economy is now based on Kobe. Oh no, that's rough. So what happened here? Well, so he sexually assaulted a girl that was 16 while she was unconscious at a graduation party. However, when it came time to sentence the convicted sexual predator, the judge had a sudden change of heart. Adrian testified that he felt that the kid, who had nearly served 5 months in county jail while his case worked its way through the court system, already served his punishment. I mean, but the judge was not following the law, which states the conviction carries a mandatory sentence of at least 4 years, and he would be required to impose the term. Well, I mean, yeah, considering it sounds like it was a charge of rape, yeah, they generally carries mandatory prison time. So, yeah, that's not a good thing to do if you're a judge. I mean, yes, there are times where a judge could probably get away with breaking the law and improperly sentence someone. But this is the one you're going to do it on, Judge? This is you thought this was the good idea? Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So in order to circumvent that law, he said his only option was to reconsider his previous verdict and to find the kid not guilty of rape. Jeez. Wow. 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 Like, those are the things when I'm sitting there with the defendant, we're getting sentenced, and I'm like, maybe he's just going to change his mind and say, you know what? They didn't prove their case. It's all getting thrown out. Like, I've always wished for that to happen. I'm like, back of my head, it's like, well, before the meteor impacts at the building and kills everybody here, maybe that's going to happen, and never does. So, wow. Wow, that actually happened. Holy shit. That's funny. So, after providing options that were not going to solve the problem of having to send the teen to prison, he said it's sentencing the prosecutors failed to prove their case. Oh, well, the stunning move outraged the advocates against sexual violence as well as the victim and her family. It spurred the distraught teenager to go public with her story after she felt the system had failed her. And she says, I woke up at my friend's place with a pillow over my face so I couldn't be heard, and my rapist inside of me. He asked multiple times to stop and wouldn't. So, although that's him? That's him? I mean, really? Well, he looks like he's like a 12-year-old. Jeez. Or maybe it's like the whole Trayvon Martin thing. They can only find a 12-year-old picture of him. I don't know. So, the commission found that he reversed his guilty finding to intentionally circumvent the mandatory prison term he was required to impose. And it added that the judge who was removed from handling criminal cases the week after the reversal. Jeez, yeah, that is a, while it sounds great for the defense, that is a massive way to undermine the law. And you know what? If people found out about that and were angry, they would, well, the people have entrusted the government to regulate the community. And by him not doing that puts that at risk because people might decide, like, you know what? We can't let God do all the work. And then you get vigilante justice. So yes, him doing this, while it sounds based on one hand, is actually borderline insane. Did not believe that Clinton was innocent. But he believed the sexual assault he committed as a teenager who was 18 with no prior criminal history did not warrant prison time. His claim that the state had failed to prove his case was subterfuge, according to the commission. Yes, he misused his position in a case to satisfy his own sense of justice by refusing to faithfully apply the law. Yeah. And then the reason why he really got toasted here is he lied about his motives for the verdict reversal under sworn testimony during the judicial board's inquiry process. And that's the thing. When you get sanctioned or investigated as an attorney by your state bar, Supreme Court, whoever, disciplinary counsel, a lack of candor is going to pretty much kill you if they figure out you lied. And this judicial inquiry board, they said, hey, you lied. So he's pretty much done-ski at that point. Had he told the truth, I still think they probably would have kicked him off. But I mean, now he's facing issues like they could take his law license. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's the next step. Because now that that's done, the State Bar Association or the Supreme Court of Illinois will probably initiate action against him because you lied and you're still an attorney, so you're governed under both sets of laws. So yeah, this is gonna be a rough day for him. So they also found he improperly removed a prosecutor of his courtroom who liked a social media post that was critical of him in a form of retaliation. Okay, so yeah, he's a complete fucking asshole. So, yeah. So such intentional, dishonest, and extensive misconduct demonstrates his disregard for truth, the judiciary, and the justice system, which tells me this is probably the only time he's done crap. It's just the only time he's ever got caught, which means he probably has screwed over people who were deserving of things just because he's an asshole. So, he's only the fourth judge the commission has removed from the bench since 2003, according to the Chicago Tribune. Wow. Holy shit. Oof. And I thought here when they went after the judge who was causing all kinds of problems during COVID was bad, but goddamn, this is, oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, good job, Bobby. Good job, Bobby. You did it, Reddit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Put the judge in jail too. Yeah, well. Still, I says the coolest rapist. Oh. Tabaki saying the judge is a POS, but the reason he got removed is because the criminal's white and the judge is white. No, he got removed because this is utterly fucking insane. I think any judge who did this should be removed. If there's mandatory sentencing like that, you can't go back and undo things like that. There's, that's just not acceptable. I mean, yeah, I know some of you are thinking out there, well, they were hoping I'd be like, that's based. It's like, no, it's not. This is not based. This is unbased. Amon says the face of a rapist if I ever saw one. Ethan Rouse like, I thought it was a woman. Like, that's Keffels. Oh, jeez. Those are rape dimples. Yeah. Stacy says, no wonder he'd get it home with an unconscious chick. Yeah, well, like I said, when you put it like that. KJ says the lack of condors. Thought they were endangered. I don't think you can bring them to court. Yes, well, yes, there's a lack of condors. So when the judge accuses you of having a lack of condors, you're like, well, of course, they're all dead. What am I supposed to do? That's probably not the right time to make that joke. But yes. Tavaki saying his important question to get to keep his pension. Maybe, who knows? Joshua Sager is saying, have I done the Fani update yet? Yes. So we did. I talked about the Fani text last night. They were released. The text between Terrence Bradley and Ashley Merkant, the attorney who blew this all open. We talked about those last night. The Fani hearing is tomorrow. They are going to be arguing over the cell phone data. Also, their closing arguments in this evidentiary hearing are going to be held tomorrow. It's going to be at 2:00. I will be covering it. So if you are interested, I will be there covering it live. I'll be here on YouTube, but like they're watching it, covering it live. I'm not going to Hotlanta. So didn't mean to make that confusing. Ugh. I think Fani's toast ultimately, especially at this point. So, but yes. Let's see here. What else? Also, I will say, by the way, Joshua, I did cover Terrence Bradley's actual cross-examination by Trump's attorneys and the attorneys for the other defendants when it came out earlier this week. I think on Tuesday we had to do a little bit of a late start because we didn't get to it right away, but I did cover it from beginning to end of that hearing. So it's up there if you just scroll back a little bit. I know we've probably done a million live streams in the meantime, but I did do it on Tuesday. Dr. Coffinail says, "Oh, hi, Sean." Yes, white people getting the book thrown at them in courts these days. Even the judge is getting book thrown at them. Kimmy Joe says the ethics complaint against her is awesome. I'm assuming you mean Tiffany Henyard. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. Chadwick Myers saying, does it matter that the case was a bench trial and not a jury trial? He overturned his own decision on guilt. Yeah, but here's the thing. Once you're that far ahead, you come to sentencing like that, generally speaking, that the boat's already, the ship has sailed at that point. Train has left the station. And generally speaking, the parties may, like the defense may ask the court to set aside a verdict and overturn it days afterwards in writing through motion. But the court to come back on its own sua sponte and say, you know what, I actually thought about it. Never mind, not guilty. Get out of here. No, that's not going to work. And especially in a case like this, that was just stupid. If he had done it for something dumb, like some guy getting caught with drug possession or some bullshit thing like that, it probably wouldn't have been that big a deal. But yeah, this is, once again, this is what you're gonna blow your shot on. You're gonna blow your wad on this. Like, man, you started off like flying super close to the sun. Oh, Josh is saying I watched your stream to that live. I was just wondering because of the title of the stream, if another bottom of the barrel fell out for Fani. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to make you feel like that. But yeah, Fani's Day of Reckoning is coming. It's tomorrow, and it's going to be glorious. So, yeah, my apologies. Didn't mean to make you think we got like new stuff. No, it's just she ain't gonna make it. She ain't long for this world as a DA, chat. So, where are we at here? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we are all caught up for tonight, chat. Wow, we got done. Pretty good time tonight. Over in Brimstone saying Cook County, home of the booty bandits. Well, I guess they're booty bandits out there. Can have fun with those guys. Fanny's gonna get spanked, yeah, and she needs spanks to hold it in. So go get that Gorilla Grip pussy pal tonight, yeah. Yeah, maybe she can co-host. That'd be great. Me and her could talk. I'm just sitting out there drinking that, that thermos of Grey Goose she got, and I'd be like, hey, can you go steal something for me? Tiffany, can you have your people go do that? I'm like, what's my gift for being on the show as a guest? Be like, here you go. This is from one of our great residents here in town. He wanted to donate this to you. And she's like had the sign ripped off the wall. Oh. He was honeypotted. I don't think so there. Yeah, I'll get a manhole cover. That'll be great. Yeah. Here you go. You can have authentic Dolton, Illinois swag. You can have a manhole cover. That'd be great for scrapping purposes though, because that's cast iron like that. That'll be good. You can sell that not cast iron, but cast steel. Yes, her sponsors are places she just stole from or extorted. That'd be great. And she could start a weave business with the Baltimore prosecutor who got sent to prison. Yeah. Oh, geez. That's amazing, chat. Got another super chat here. Stephen Bunt for $10. Thank you. Saying is the ultimate answer to the Josh Moon suit. That's kind of funny when you say it, the Moon suit. Many others make it to make the internet its own jurisdiction. Nick V. Monty issues a states. Just make internet the new DC and get rid of DC. I mean, it sounds great, but you just kind of said it like get rid of DC and you make a new DC. So you're gonna you eliminate the scum of the hive of scum and villainy, and you just make another one. So, I mean, not to say the internet's not already a hive of scum and villainy, but I like that idea. But I think you still have to work within the frameworks we have and have the internet become its own world. I don't think we're ready for that, and I don't know if we would ever be ready for that. Just given how we would have to be basically completely on the internet, and I just don't know how that would work. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea though, Steven. And yes, for cases like Nick and Monty and Josh, the Farms and Russell Greer, it'd make all those things probably flow a lot easier. But I could see that just massive problems. And the thing is, like, I can't even fathom them, and I can already the problems though probably could be huge. So no, I think it's a good idea overall, and maybe in the future. I just don't know in our lifetimes. Don't know in our lifetimes. Uh Wendy Carter says Null has a lawsuit. Sargon will be proud. Yeah. So, all right. Well, guys, that is it for tonight. We got to everywhere we wanted to go. 518 people watching. Thank you so much for everybody being here. T. Reese says Nate and Lee, attorney, think Bradley thought he was going to get a piece of that booty and spilled the beans on Fanny. Oh, I agree. Reading that, we read those texts last night. He got friend zoned by that girl. He's like, and she just used them up used them like a Kleenex. So, and yes, guys, if you want to join us, we're going over to potentiallycriminal.locals.com. Use the free month code criminal 2024. You could join us over there for the after party. I did want to say, we got a one Rumble rant over on Rumble here. We got from a Real Patriots Party for $2. Sean, your Discord server seems to need a mod/manager, a functioning band bot, and a good delousing. What the fuck? LOL. I don't know what happened over there. Message me and I'll talk to you about if something happened. I generally try to have a light hand in there. A light hand. I try to have a light footprint. So message me over there and I'll talk to you if something happened. And I'll help you figure out, see what we can do. But yes, thank you to everybody that's been here. Everybody over on Kick. I don't know how many people that actually is really at the end of the day. Rumble, thank you all you guys there. Over on Twitter, it looks like 2 people still. Thanks for being here. Nobody on Facebook, which that's okay. That's all boomers anyway. And then over 500 here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. My Discord sucks. Well, hey, that's what it is. It's Discord. I don't know what you're asking. You're expecting there. My earlier all my live streams on YouTube are missing. What? Huh. I'll have to look for that. So that is it, guys. I will see you over on Locals shortly. And just remember, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Good night, everybody.